we'd come up with the idea upstairs, and we were all just sitting in a circle, and we were like, this is what we want to do. Cam came downstairs, and a couple hours later, he had this prototype I was telling you about, where it's just like these blocks or cubes or whatever, and there's these rings that are going around them that are indicating when you should shoot. We tried that, and we didn't like it, and as soon as we stripped that out and we let you shoot on anything, we realized we had something, and it was that fast.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Pistol Whip's a good example of how you take one vertical slice of an experience of being in an action scene and making it feel real and present. And it's just the tip of the iceberg, like in terms of what we're going to be able to do with VR as a medium.
A lot of the stuff that inspired Pistol Whip was, of course, movies like John Wick and maybe Hardcore Henry, that kind of stuff, like, high action shooters. We started with just kind of the idea that we wanted something that made you feel like that, and we wanted music to be an integral part of it.
One of the pillars for Pistol Whip very early on was how do we make somebody both feel cool and look cool, which is harder than it sounds. But once we really started kind of breaking down what that would require, it became a lot easier. And so in a weird way, like some of the level design and the way that we're forcing you to move was in service to both of those things. It was kind of like an inside-out way of developing the game. Put the user in the center of a story that's unfolding around them, and tap into kind of their automatic response to being driven through that experience. So Pistol Whip is an action game, very simple, but it's really affecting you on a deeper level.
Discretion is advised.
One of the things that we knew from the very beginning was that we wanted to make something that was gonna be and look fun to play and make you feel cool. And again, like with a bunch of the other elements of the game, it was, we would try stuff and we find that, when you're moving around, it feels better. It looks better too. Like it looks more fun, you can tell. And if you've seen people playing Pistol Whip, you can tell what game they're playing.
At the studio, we recognized that there was something special about it because we had fun playing it right to the bitter end. Like, usually what happens in game dev is that you get sick of the thing that you're building and you just want to get it out the door at some point. But with Pistol Whip, that never really happened. Everybody here played the crap out of it because they really enjoyed playing it, legitimately enjoyed it. And we were competing with each other in the studio. So when we started kind of sending it out first we sent it out to our peers, like other game developers. And when those people started telling us that they were having fun, that's when we knew maybe there was something special there. And then we sent it out to kind of a broader group of people, and they were having fun. And it was great validation, because we never quite knew, and you never do. But once people had it in their hands and they were getting really stoked about what it was and how they were using it was really interesting, because it pushed people's physicality way harder than we thought it would. Because in the studio, we kind of got used to that over time, over like this grade of time, we built up our thigh muscles or something, I don't know. But we all got good at playing the game and forgot how physical it was to some degree.
So when we released Pistol Whip and it got that same sort of reception, but also so many more people were playing it, and we had it on Quest too, which is an incredible platform with tons of amazing players, and we had all this influx of people playing and enjoying our game and telling us how good it was, and we had played it like through development, and we had like maybe come blind to it, and we didn't really expect that people like loved it as much as we did, because we loved it enough to like play it every day. And then also other people enjoyed playing our game every day, and that's something that we never had before, and that was really special for us. And it helped us kind of carve out a roadmap for a game that can continue getting supported. We've been adding new tracks, or scenes, sorry, we've been adding. The support means that we get to keep building this awesome game and keep turning it into something new.
The earliest iterations of Pistol Whip were absolutely terrible. We started with a lot of the sort of standard assumptions. We're making a shooting game that's based on music and whatnot. Our very earliest prototype was like these cubes, music track cubes coming towards you in a hallway. You shoot them to the beat kind of thing. From then it was static environments with people moving around and whatnot. And it was basically through experimenting with a bunch of different directions that we ended up moving farther and farther away from what would be seen as sort of classic rhythm gameplay and more into like old school light gun / modern shooter kind of stuff, while maintaining kind of keeping it as simple as we could. We just sort of kept anything that we tried that felt cool in that direction, and anything that started to feel like it was stifling freedom, or like I don't really want to wait for this next thing. You know, you have a thing happening and you want to react. You react to it when and how you want to. Anything that pushed us in that direction that felt good, we kept. And we would have really weird ideas that we'd think, you know, like, well, this is probably stupid, but if it was quick to try, we'd do it, because we became aware really early on that we had no idea what was going to work. And that's actually what I think is one of the most critical things to being able to find something super fun and super good, is to be willing to be wrong about absolutely everything. And know when you are, and then find the stuff that is right and dig it out of there. And that's really what Pistol Whip is the stuff that was right along the way.
So one of the things about Pistol Whip is there's no line in the sand. So every rhythm game before this, you know, basically things are flying towards you. You hit them as soon as they cross that line, or right on the precipice of hitting that line. We wanted to move way far away from that so that players could kind of pick their moments and be more strategic with how they're shooting to the beat, or ignoring the beat entirely. Like, frankly, they could play it as a first-person shooter and just ignore the beat, but it was way more rewarding, we found, to align your personal rhythm to those shots. And we're tracking all of that on the back end. Like, so you can, you know, hit quarter notes and whatever. You can hit on any beat, right? As long as you're within that window where it makes sense. Yeah, so it just turned into a much more fun way of approaching the problem.
How does it come all together to make fun? Well, we know that one of the great avenues for VR is our ability to use our bodies when we're playing a game. And so being able to utilize that as much as possible when playing a game such as Pistol Whip really seems intuitive and also almost natural for the player, versus pressing a button on the joystick or whatever. So yeah, basically trying to focus on gameplay mechanics, and also, you know, moments where the player can actually physically move their body left or right, or, you know, wave their hands to do certain actions and make it feel good is very important for us. And so, yeah, just anything that allows us to do that more and more. We think that there's a lot of things that we can still do using the player's body, and so we just need to figure out more and more what cool things we can do, in addition to squats or dodging or anything like that.
It was through adherence to our design pillars that we basically distilled everything down to this kind of unstopping motion through interesting environments.
Kind of putting everything together was I think the dodging, honestly, because what ends up happening that's really interesting about Pistol Whip is, because there's no line in the sand, because there's no point that we're telling you to shoot on this beat, you can shoot on any beat. What ends up happening is people wait to shoot for the next beat that they hear. When they wait, enemies shoot at them. And then the more they get shot at, the more they have to dodge. And so it's just kind of this confluence of mechanics. We're introducing this rhythm mechanic, and then as we introduce that, then more dodging happens, which meant more movement, which I guess meant more fitness too. Generally, I just reference the nightclub scene in John Wick. Basically, he's in there, and there's this club music pounding, and then he goes bam, 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 and it's like right in tune with the music. Or Baby Driver, where the whole movie is in sync with the music. You see it lots in the Fast and the Furious movies, where they sync up gunshots or car sounds to the music in the trailers. That's Pistol Whip. It is, you are in that scene, you are in that action movie montage, you are in that music video. You are an action hero badass. It's pretty cool.